Pour me a stiff one. Did you steal the lemonade? I want some. I need something. I'm mad. Well, this was going to be a much more uplift. Well, no, it was never going to be uplifting because the game's apparently not uplifting. But it was going to be more interested. More. We were going to be experimenting with something new.
Tantalize you with intrigue.
Yes, and then whoops. Yeah. Bloopers. We're gonna start fresh. That wasn't the previous game we started to try and then didn't work. That certainly would never happen. Weird technical difficulties are just so fun when I guess this is an indie game, so sometimes there's settings. I didn't know that. Well, indie-ish. I think it was made by like a company, but a small one. What
constitutes indie?
It can be anything from a single dude made the whole thing to like a group of guys to.
So is it technically just the budget that's technically defined?
Effectively, the whole A rank, like AAA versus technically indie, would be like a single A, but no one ever says that. So I don't really know. I think it's mostly just, did you have the backing of. Usually there are publishers, and then there's the studios. So, like, for example, 2K, I don't know why this is the first example, but, like, 2K is a publisher. They don't make games.
Right.
Whereas, wow, I was trying to think of the example and it went away. Whoever made BioShock, Adam Levine's Maroon 5. Ken Levine made BioShock with whatever he had his own studio, but like the 2K published it, which basically means it's effectively like a Hollywood studio. Someone puts the money into it, and then the studio actually makes it.
Right.
Whereas I think the difference with indie games is that the publisher is the studio.
Right. Gotcha.
This is probably too loud. I don't think we caught this last time. You're all probably hearing the... I don't know, I'm in a bad headspace now. I suppose I should be in a bad headspace. That's exactly what I need to be given the horrors we're about to endure. Let's make some moonshine. I need some. I could never work in IT.
What? You just now discovering this?
No, I mean, I'm acknowledging my own limitation. I'm not a fan of IT. Computers are interesting. I did build my own, but I wouldn't want to fix other people's for them. All right, give me my pills.
Partially because I don't want to fix other people. And partially
That's true, too. I got my empty notepad. Get out of here. I got my pills. So
I find that there's so many times, though, you get on the phone with people or you try to fix their problem, they're going, oh, I didn't realize that there was a right click.
Well, that's why there was someone, actually, I think it was a Reddit post that said something like, the reason why there is such a stereotype of, like, the jerk a-hole IT guy is, it's because the guy was basically saying, it's unfortunate that that's the stereotype of our industry, but in fairness, I did have to drive 2 hours to get to the location to turn on a machine I was assured was already on. So it's like, forgive me if I'm not exactly happy right now. Because you're going, you need to push this button. I did. Is it glowing? Yes. Then you get there and it's not on. It's like, I can understand how that would lead you to be...
I did push the button. Was it plugged in? No.
You didn't say that. Okay, but anyways.
You guys are the experts, not me.
Give me all the... Oh, there you go. Give me all my stuff. Whoa, okay. So, that's just lovely. The window, we had to resize the window in a stupid way.
Really aggressive acne.
Well, yeah, there's some kind of medical anomaly. All of the intrigue from the first take was pretty good because we actually didn't know what was happening. Now we're trapped in a house. Some kind of plague's going on. There's medical notes that are freaky. And we're barricaded in because clearly we're trying to keep something out. And there's also stuff locked in here that we're trying to keep locked. So I don't know. Sorry we're a little bit disgruntled. We had to fix
I imagine this guy is too.
Well, exactly. It's appropriate. But we had to fix the window problem. It wasn't showing the right resolution. And now, sorry that we're having to downgrade to 720. I'm sure all of you your actual IT people are going to be... I could open it with a lockpick. Are just thrilled to have something less than 4K recording, but... It's the best solution we could work.
I actually don't find that
I didn't realize this
4K
was here.
versus
Whoa, see, these are...
1080p was a huge leap.
It's noticeable, but
It's
only...
noticeable, but not...
Only if you, like...
Squint your eyes real hard.
No, I mean, there are times when, especially for... Well, I mean, maybe not everyone would use it this way. Okay, I'm just looking at these. Can I actually take them? I guess not. I do some kind of horrible medical practice here. It's like sometimes if you use it for like reference materials, like if you're using it for drawing something and I'm like take a screenshot of something, I've done that where it's nice to be able to zoom in really close and not have the quality be super trashy. But I admit that that's a niche thing. Oh, I forgot. Where's the key? I could... What? It was open. I don't know nothing. Anyways... We're playing this because it was free. Oh, that was the other thing we talked about. Epic Games.
Partially because it was free, partially because
let's be frank. It's entirely because it's free. But the only reason I was interested in it is because I had heard of it from that episode several weeks ago when they talked about Lovecraftian horror games, and they said this was a good one. Oh, wooden logs, nails. Which that I could probably use for a lockpick.
Associated, at least. I don't know that we specifically conflated the two, but I think it's fair to say that Lovecraftian horror is psychological in nature.
I think there's enough of a distinction that they should be seen as separate.
Well, but I think they can
My legs do something
another.
very strange when I... That's an odd... Well, whatever.
Looks more like you're some sort of odd octopus.
Oh, it's the grim sequel to Octodad. But yes, this was free, and after like 2 days after we recorded that video, and I first mentioned the list I saw of all of these games, and it was like free on Epic Games this week, and I was like, jackpot.
I'm fairly confident
I now have to kill a
lips
dog
on that dog, like weird.
Well, dogs
weird
do
lips,
have
though.
lips,
but they're like floppy, weird lips.
Well, he's panting. That could be his tongue.
They could.
Sadly, this is our dog who's suffering from whatever disease. And it's wanting me to kill it, which, I'll do. Our reaction to this...
said that like, which, I'll do it.
For $50, I'll do about anything. But I feel like our reactions were so much more the way that they would have probably hoped the first time around. Because I was actually like, oh, that's that tragic and gross. Now I'm like, yep, just kill the dog. Bury the boy. Now... It won't let me use the axe to kill the dog. Oh, here's my hotkeys. That was the reason we had to change our window resolution, is because the hotkeys were being
not
blocked.
Hot.
Yes, they were being blocked by our resolution not being right. So
hotkeys, I can't see them.
It doesn't allow me. There you go. So we got an axe. All right. Let's get topics and intrigue. Isn't this such a thing? Let's. I don't know.
Why would you have had your dog inside with you if this was going on? I mean...
Well, maybe this all just started, so this is how I wind up. Do I have to wind up so aggressively? Okay, so that doesn't do anything. Now, you were making the comment last time that, like, go for the neck. I want this to be painless.
Chop to the neck. I mean...
But I also feel like if you're squeamish... It's hard to screw up shooting at close range.
Well, that's true.
You could literally put it against his head and look away for all you care. But like, if you're squeamish, if you want to shake it all about, then I feel like this would be.
If you're squeamish, and
I feel like this would be easy to. Oh, he does. He is squeamish. How does he? Why is he not? Oh, okay. So I had to double press. I do hope he's dead. Oh, ... Are we sad? I'm kind of sad. That's rough. Well, that's a tragic way to start. Now I'm back to being
it's a bit of the...
Can I cut off the head of this creepy doll? Because it shouldn't be either. I don't like that it... Oh, I don't think that did anything.
It's a bit of the Peaky Blinders thing where it's like...
What?
You're
just trying to shoehorn in your...
No, I'm not. I'm saying...
There's something locked in there we don't want to let out.
Thomas Shelby talks about the idea that he has less trouble killing men during war than horses. Like,
well, they did establish he had a thing about like horses.
Yes, but I'm just saying there's a weird like for instance, even in an actual crisis situation, criminals they talk about sending dogs into school shootings and things like that now as a theory because people.
That's a dumb theory.
Well, people don't when
people don't react normally.
Yeah, they don't go, oh, I'll just shoot the dog. They go, oh my gosh, the dog's coming to attack me.
I think a hardened criminal probably still would, but
they would. But it's funny because even on a logic level, I
suppose it would work on non-hard criminals.
It's not, but it's not even about being a hardened criminal or not. They think it's less like, oh, I don't want to shoot the dog. It's more like their fear response goes into effect, and they kind of go, I gotta escape this thing.
So I guess I thought maybe we were gonna shore up the house and try to stay in it, but I guess we're not. Apparently we're leaving the house. I don't know. I know nothing of the plot of this game other than that it is Lovecraftian horror and it's why? Oh, is that just because the weird fog started rolling in and then the command to run came up and I was like, okay, am I going to chase something? Alright, the trees do animate in a strange way. They said that this was not a jump scary horror, it was actually a quality horror of...
Oh, to access the map, press N.
The woods have devoured all the roads that connected us to the outside world. No one was able to pass through. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. The map is relatively small then.
Where is the road?
Your map is not marked. When you discover a new location, it will be added to your map. The location you're currently in is designated in red. So, I mean, our position's not marked specifically, but it's like we're in this general area. I kind of like that. I think maps are actually one of the things that ruined games. Too accurate of maps, because I think they just make it like it's easy to... I'll admit, because I don't know what I'm expecting, I don't know what's actually going to harm me. Location found, fallen tree. Okay, cool. So I don't actually know whether or not I should be afraid of anything yet, which I suppose that's good. I don't know. Even despite the fact that we're not hearing, I'm sure, the creepy sounds going on that we should hear. Click hold, left control. What? Hold, left control.
Just took...
Oh, that's one at a time. I want to take the whole stack. Do I even need any of this stuff? I mean, maybe this is what I don't know about anything anymore.
Are you using the rags? I imagine they're for just starter. I mean,
well, I don't know. These parts of the wizard door. I should craft a torch. Okay. All right. So there's exploration and crafting. I wasn't aware of that. I don't know. I know it's after Halloween, but I'm still on the horror kick because I've been on it for a little while. I have news on that front, actually. Watched another thing, and I think it's actually gone so far as to give me some insights. Oh, here you go, crafting.
I thought maybe you were going to say nightmares, but...
No, not yet. I have... Okay, so there's two kinds of torches. This one requires stuff I don't have, but I do have these. Okay. Oh, empty glass bottle. This is a lot of... My inventory filled up remarkably fast, so... Wait a second, hang on. It just occurred to me. Why am I building torches? What am I holding that's creating this light? Or is this not... Is this not light? Is this just my attention? Because I remember them saying... They said something like... It was an artistic choice deliberately, like you can only see what you're directly looking at, because when enemies do get introduced, it makes it so that you actually are...
Well, I like the fact... Look straight, though. Over, like, to the left.
What?
There. You notice how when you're looking straight, there is technically still shadow and things of that nature.
So I don't think it's actually shadow. I think it's... Yeah, that makes sense. Well, because... There's always the unfair advantage of these top-down things where it's like you can see what's behind you. You wouldn't normally be able to do that.
Right.
So I guess this isn't a lamp, despite the fact that it looks like light. I don't like that. I mean, I know that that's purposeful, the way they have the... Okay. Moving stuff to the hotkeys is a bit of a task. There you go. I have no clue what the difference was with that. I don't know what I did differently. Alright, so 2 holds out my torch. There you go. That is at least more obvious. Now, do I want to be out in the woods like this? It seems like staying at home would be the safest bet. I don't know. But
maybe he's tired of staying at home and
he's just going, I'm going to die with my boots on, I suppose. Okay. So the horror thing. I watched... you can't have a torch out while I'm climbing a fence? I watched a very bizarre and... Well, I'll have to get into it. The film is called Possum for a reason that is not very relevant. But that is what it's called. Ooh. Ooh, this is certainly Lovecrafty.
Is that?
It's a Shoggoth who ate a person. Or is this all the person? That looks very Shoggothy. In a few days it will be completely absorbed by what? By this? You have no commentary on what that is? Okay, so a Shoggoth came up. Ooh. And it ate a deer. That deer looks like it's in the middle of interpretive dance. Just pointing that out. Are these... Ew, bugs? This is...
Bugs? I'm not...
Yeah, they're all bugs all climbing all around the screen. Or the ground, I presume, is what they're actually climbing on. Okay. Dead things. Dead faces in the water. But anyways, yeah.
In the forest.
It's weird. And it also is probably exactly what we were discussing when we talk about psychological horror. Because it is entirely... All of its freaky stuff is... Well, some of it's visually based, and that we'll get into that, because, like, the actual thing that is... I suppose I'm going to have to spoil some things. Okay. What's this weird effect? That's something... So this is a tree? Is this their attempt at creating, like, a 3D... Like, the branches are up above... Oh, okay. There's some interesting art direction in this. So far, nothing has... okay.
What is that?
I was about to say, so far, nothing's happened.
I think this one's still
Unconscious
breathing.
man. It's got a key. Big metal key. There's an exit outside these woods. This key will... Well, that's a leap of logic, but okay. A random stranger in a wood had a key. If I'm ever to get out of here, I'll need it. Okay. How low did you turn this down? Are we supposed to be hearing something right now? Or was this always silent? The intro just had music. So maybe this is just... Oh, okay, we're going to save him. Well, oh, he snuck in here. He must know how to get out. Wait a second. Hang on.
Why won't he help you voluntarily?
Yeah, I was about to say. That's an assumption that you... Because remember at the start, there was that room he said, I don't want to unlock it. I spent enough time getting it in there. So maybe that's the twist. Maybe we're the villain. This doesn't... Okay, so maybe that'll be interesting if we are actually like if we're the monster in the woods. Okay. Well, this took a turn.
So he's off his nut.
Sometimes I hear her voice. He seems to be off something. Okay, so this, yeah. I can see why people said this is freaky. See, but this is where I'm talking. Like, this, I'm more unsettled by this than I am by just gross-looking stuff. And jump scares. Like, I'm more unsettled by just how this is an unsettling...
What on earth?
I think... Well, okay. I mean, we're doing questionable things. He seems to be tied to a chair is what it looks like. So we are going mad. Ooh. Or, I mean, this is just the prologue. It's entirely possible that this isn't even us. This could be like what happened before we got here. Maybe we're going to show up. Maybe this is like the villain. Are we this guy? I think we might be. Oh, that's clever. That's very clever. That's interesting. So I don't know that I can think of a game that's done that before, because that's actually pretty interesting.
Where you play as the villain and then
you first play as the guy who captures you and then you escape.
Well,
most of the time you would have started here. Like, I'm trapped in this place.
I would argue Assassin's Creed, the third one.
I haven't played that one because it wasn't very good, I hear.
It wasn't very good, but that definitely did that same kind of thing.
That's interesting and weird. I mean, does that mean he has all the stuff I picked up? That's a fascinating idea. Just the fact that this was the way they did that already has me curious. Yeah.
No, I think again it makes it more. It makes it more mentally challenging, I suppose, or even script-wise more challenging to create a game that is horrific and horror.
Well, you're treading on the topic that based on criticism I will eventually
based
show
on the idea of
I can't seem to do anything.
Correct and kind of creepy setup and writing and all this other stuff versus just a I'm gonna jump out and scare you. I mean, it's like even like a 2-year-old can do that.
Okay, so hang on. Well, that I think will ultimately be the criticism of the film, which is not I don't think it's fair to call it criticism, because I think it's exactly what I was looking for. In the terms of, like, this is just a psychological horror film that is really well made, and I think it strikes the right balance of, I'm going to have to spoil a little bit, because the thing in it, the monster, as it were, isn't actually real.
Right.
And that's what makes it fascinating. So they sort of get to have their cake and eat it too, because they get to have the scares from the monster thing, but it isn't actually a real thing. It ends up being, I won't spoil the whole thing, but it's like it ends up being a symbolic representation of the true horror, which was a traumatic psychological thing. And I won't say more than that. But that was fascinating, because then you get to have, like, oh, this thing is creepy, and it there's no, like, direct chase, but there's definitely not even jump scares, but, like, startling things where it's like
an uneasiness about,
because from what you got, I'm not trying to determine how much I should say. I don't know if you're ever going to plan to watch it, but flashlight and a shovel, I will take both. But for anyone who's interested in this, basically the creature, as it were, is this weird puppet looking thing. I bet you I could dismantle this with the shovel, right? That seems like shovel would help me at least. Yeah, can I use my shovel? Or do I have to hotkey everything? I guess I'm going to have to get used to that. I might want to hotkey the bandages, but I also don't want to waste them on accident. So it's this creepy puppet thing is the monster, as it were. Okay, so that won't work. But it's not a real... I mean, it is a real puppet that exists, but he hallucinates the puppet moving and, like, trying to attack him and things, and it doesn't happen. And so that's what makes it interesting, is it's like you get to have the creepy, and of course he's gone. Oh boy, see, I'm already more unsettled with this.
Why would he be gone? That makes no sense.
I don't know. I do want my shovel handy.
What are all these shiny bits around?
I heard something just then, so there's definitely sounds. We're going to be missing out somewhat on the horror-iness. Switch on. Okay, radio. Bloodstained radio, that's a problem. I want my shovel out. Why is my shovel not out? Oh, I guess maybe I shouldn't have the shovel out. I probably need the flashlight. That is a weak sauce flashlight, but okay. I liked whatever the lantern I had before. Of course. Okay. Oh. See, this has already got me interested, because this is far more unsettling than most...
But see, he didn't say anything the first time we went to the door.
No, the first time we were playing the other guy, and he said I spent enough time getting him in there, so there's someone in there.
So he didn't even say anything so this time the guy tried to open it, and that's why...
And he hears, okay, this is messed up, and now there's medical tools, a syringe that I'm going to take for no reason. Okay. This...
Take his moonshine.
Yeah. There used to be
This is what happens when the federal government's not involved, don't you know?
People start killing each other over moonshine. Too strong to dismantle. My shovel would say something about that. Boy, get me shovel out.
Maybe you ought to use that shovel.
Why can do I not have it?
Is it one of those things where the items actually have, like...
Oh, wait.
Specific...
Item is broken. You can... I wondered what the red color meant.
So that's, yeah.
So I need a workbench, which I don't have. All right, well, I'm already interested, and we're already half an hour in. We haven't talked about jack squat.
No, that's true.
Contribute.
I've been sitting here talking.
I've been talking about a film that I'm having trouble describing because this game's freaking me out.
Well,
here's the thing. The film was unsettling, but I don't... The thing that the ultimate issue I think I had with it is that it is... I wonder if I know too much about film critique to be scared as easily by non-cheap jump scares. Because certainly there's moments where I was like, oh, this is kind of creepy. Because, again, the thing is creepy looking. And then they do well with the atmosphere and the stuff. But I also know that it's like the reason I'm creeped out is because of the camera tricks that they're using and the sorts of eerie audio in the background. It's like,
right.
Not that that's unfair. I don't think that it's like, oh, it's cheap. Because a jump scare will still get you even though you know it's cheap.
Right.
That's why they're so looked down upon, is it's like it's seen as cheating. Whereas, like, I don't think that this was cheating. I just feel like it's a little like knowing how a magic trick works. It's like I feel like I know there was a workbench in this room, but there is no room here anymore.
So you already kind of just lost. Well, hey now, if there wasn't a room there anymore, you turned around, or is there actually a room that's changed?
Well, I can't tell. This was where the moonshine room was before. And there used to be a door here, but there doesn't appear to be. Unless, because, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Do I need to check my inventory? Do I have a code for this that I'm not aware of? I don't think so. I ain't got nothing. Lockpick won't help with this kind of lock. So, I feel like it was good in that sense because it was the kind of restrained, non-gore, non-jump scare. This is blinking. I didn't notice it doing that before. I don't appear to be able to interact with it. And so I thought I appreciated that, but I just felt like all of its, again, I sort of said this about, which of them did I say this about? I said this about The Thing, where it's like, I'm not as scared of it because I'm more fascinated by it.
Right.
Like, I'm fascinated by the technique that went into crafting it, so I feel like it's the same thing. Because I know what it is that they did to make it spooky, I wasn't as easily spooked. Because it's like, again, I think the magic comparison is what it feels like. Is I'm like, yeah, it was good, but I don't feel like it didn't instill the same kind of experience that I mentioned when I talked about the Lovecraft, the case of Charles Dexter Ward. And I think the thing I've realized is that maybe it's just that I'm not a visual horror person. Close the door. That was for this room. And because this, as I describe it, I think, well, this is exactly what the psychological horror stuff we were talking about is.
Yeah.
But it still didn't give me that same kind of experience, which must therefore mean that maybe it's because I think books that manage to be scary will always be scarier than anything else.
Well, because
it's so much harder to make a good scary book. Jump scares don't work in a book.
Right.
So there's no cheating when books. So if a book is scary, that's because it's actually a frightening concept. And I think if you can manage that without the visuals, then you're clearly doing something that can't be replicated with visuals.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could, but I think the problem is if you rely too much on visuals, then I don't know, maybe then it's cheapened. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to try something. What year is it? It's 1887. I have no clue. I am a little bit confused, if I'm perfectly honest. I mean, do we need to... Well, because
Are you just feeling like, what do I do next? Is that
because nothing... Well, this is supposedly the same house we were in.
Right.
That door is locked.
That is the cellar that he's like, I just have a bunch of tools down there and stuff like that. Did you already open that?
Yeah, we already managed it because we have a lockpick. But there were rooms in this house that are... wardrobe. Did I not? No, I searched this. There were rooms in here that are... Oh, hang on. Of course. I remember now that there was this other room in here. And the wardrobe wasn't there. Generator, there you go. So nothing turns on. Presumably it's broken. Barricaded window. Metal table with blood on it.
He was in here for a second. Did you see him?
What? Who?
I swear he was in here for a second.
Now you're trying to freak me out.
No, I'm not trying to freak you out. I swear I saw movement. Movement! I saw movement!
I don't... Now, this is, I think, what table leg? Is that for whopping people with? That's what I'm going to use it for.
Get bapped!
Gasoline, that'll be useful for when I burn this place down. I don't like the straps. It's some kind of crappy... Oh, it's empty, is it? Well, I'm glad it's empty. I'd rather not come across a full medical table. I don't think anything is in here. Lamps. All these lamps don't work. This generator. Aha! Oh, with the gas I just picked up. I'm not using my puzzle-solving abilities. I feel like anyone who played adventure games is going to be like, you've picked up gasoline, try it on the thing. And I'm just like, nothing turns on. How do I... I should also read the tips they're giving me. Hover your cursor over the generator, hold right mouse button followed by left mouse button. That's a strange set of... Oh, okay, I have to hold it while he does it. No doubt this is for the horror's sake, because while I'm doing this, something's going to sneak up behind me. Tank is empty. Turn it on. Let's have some light. Whoa, that is mighty bright. Why would the generator... Oh, these are absurdly bright lights. Okay, this is weird. I just know that the moment I... Holy crap!
He's moving!
This is... Okay! I mean, this isn't okay, but I mean, the game has got me.
This is okay.
Undulating. What's coming out of him?
What do you mean, what's coming out of him?
Look at all of this. What's all the weird loopies? How did I not notice this before? Why have you not spoken of this before? I don't want to... It's clearly not a corpse. It's clearly still moving. 2 dials instead of eyes. Barely distinguishable from radio static. See, this is... Oh, that ain't right. That just ain't right. Okay. What did it say? 4-8? This is... I mean, talk about concepts. This is the kind of thing where this would... I mean... I admit, my reaction is clearly proof enough that the visuals are part of what made that a good reveal.
Well, sure.
But this is freaky enough on its own. What was it? 4982 or 4892?
48912. Or, yeah, no, 2, sorry.
Are you sure 892 or 982?
982, I can't remember.
Well, I guess we can try each. Okay. I don't seem to know how this spins. Got it, it's alright. So there's a dude in here. I don't think I want it. Door seems stuck. I need to apply some force. How do I apply some force? Running into it doesn't apply enough force. Do I need to smack it with my table leg? Where's my table leg? My shovel's busted. I'm using a table leg. So yes, obviously the visual's there, but like this would be creepy enough in text form.
Yeah.
Just like a description of what just happened is certainly enough to be freakish. Okay, that seemed to work. Why can't I see you? I don't like that I can't hold a weapon. I don't trust this because I don't see anything speaking. And he's beckoning me.
Wires going again.
He's beckoning me closer. Well, there was a corpse with a radio in its face in the next room, so for all I know, it's another one in... I knew it! I don't like this at all! Dude! Oh, man, we are a weak sauce little thing. We gotta... Okay. I mean, that was sort of jump scary, but I did sort of... okay, he clipped through the wall. He clipped through the wall. Is this the guy who... Plastic chick? What? What does he need that for?
But okay, so
why does that's the guy that eyes?
That's the guy that
I'm presuming
locked in there, but I mean,
or is that
him himself?
Well, he's cackling. Oh dear. Or did he? Okay. I'm hearing something warbling.
You think you can something age all by yourself?
Okay, get my stick out. I'm getting me mallet. What's a sparking? I'm hitting first and asking questions later. Oh, it's a lamp. The problem is I don't know what's a threat. This is what I feel like. Just come at me. Oh. Holy.
And they did.
They said this was not a jump scary game. I mean, it's not technically, because obviously I knew something was coming, but it was fast.
I think that the visual or
Slender Man. Did you know they made a Slender Man movie? that came up on my list, and everyone said it was trash. So I'm not watching it, but
I could have told you it was trash before.
I could have guessed just by I didn't watch it. I'm saying I heard of it, and I was like, well, I'm certainly not watching that.
The camera angle being above is what makes it not.
He's got some weird novel garlic hands.
Garlic hands. I was gonna say like some mummy wrapped nonsense.
Okay, so wow. I mean. So did I actually die, or was I was okay, so I was supposed to, that was supposed to happen. I didn't think I could do anything about that, because I was like, if they're going to make me do that again, I don't think I can do anything different. Oh, I thought those things were attached to me. Like whatever that guy was. See, if you described, like, the scare from before was only because I discovered the corpse right in front of me.
Right.
But, like, that's an easy, like, okay, that was just shocking. But even the description, had it just been text in a book of like, oh yeah, he's got a freaking radio shoved into his face, I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of freaky. That's where I say it's a matter of the concept. If the concept is scary without the visuals, then the visuals will only help. I don't like that. I don't want any doors open anymore. I want to be locked in a corner of a room. Okay, so is this the same house? I'm surely not the same guy. Nails. Rags. Photo of a road. Do you see Slenderman in this picture? I bet your Slenderman's in this picture somewhere.
No, but Sasquatch is back there.
Well, that looks... I see something like that.
It's one of those blurry pictures where it's like, that's for sure Sasquatch.
Yeah, well, they've already got me in the... goodness. They've got me in the goodness. I get now why people are saying this was freaky. Okay, well, who am I now? I put a trap... this is clearly my house. I put a trap in front of the window, which didn't go off, and I was commenting on how that's abnormal. Mushroom book? See, the question is... This is not Cyrillic, so this is not Russian. So I think I was right with the Polish. I mean... I don't know what... Actually, I don't think the Polish alphabet is different then. Maybe it is. Rope to hang myself. Alcohol to get liquored up before I hang myself. And then a glass bottle, I guess, to pee in after I'm dead. So something's going wrong. Now, let's see. I suppose that was an effective intro, because now I'm all discombobulated. I don't have any doors in this house, except I guess the one. Or this hole in the wall.
Well, yep. I guess hole in the wall is what it is.
Okay. Oh, you don't lie to me.
They're undulating.
Don't lie to me and call those
they're
mushrooms.
Large mushrooms, trust us.
Well, hey, maybe it's a fungal... Maybe that's the disease everyone was talking about. It's some kind of horrific mushroom parasite.
They're hallucinogenic.
I just knew there was going to be something behind the door.
None of this is actually
This is,
real.
of course, why this level of limited perspective, as I'm going, every time I cross a door, I'm like, oh, it's going to be another corpse.
It reminds me a little bit of Doctor Who in that episode where...
that's an interesting comparison.
Well, because I'm not I don't watch Doctor Who.
I'm not either. That's why I'm curious how you're going to justify that.
But there's one episode that I actually really did enjoy that is about, and those of you that do watch Doctor Who will know what I'm talking about. It's the episode with the weeping angels.
Well, everyone who doesn't know Doctor Who knows that. Even I know that.
That one, I'm like, yeah, that one is
Do I have a weapon? Terrifying. I don't like being unarmed now that I know what odd-looking mushroom. Cookable, rots over time. Well, thanks.
So, in other words, cook it quick and eat it quick and don't ask questions.
Scarf it and
you're gonna see things. It's okay.
Well, hey, that is actually a perfectly valid question. Are like mushrooms that do things to your brain still nutritious? Like,
could you care? Could you subsist? Psychotropic.
But I'm saying, like, if you knew that it's like, okay, this is going to make me hallucinate, but I don't have any other food.
I'm sure you could.
Could you be like, okay, I'm subsisting off of psychedelic mushrooms, and I just, I chain myself to the bed every night so I don't do something crazy? Because that would be whack. I mean, imagine the quantity you would have to eat to sustain yourself off of them probably would
trip you out so
like
far.
I imagine that would cause you probably some kind of brain damage. Repair the well. I have 0 wood and I need more wood. Can I get this wood? There's no wood. Okay, I need an axe to split the logs, I guess. I gotta fix the well. That's the only objective I have so far. Ah, okay. Convert wood logs to planks for minus 25 fuel. What does that mean? What does fuel mean? Like the generator fuel?
Oh.
What am I using? Oh, is it maybe like a power tool? It won't let me pick up the... It says I... Oh, it says it's searched. Okay, so the wood pile is empty despite still being there.
Maybe you get a chainsaw. Just...
Well, they've got me already. I'm interested in this now. I finished my thoughts on that film.
Mostly.
It's worth watching just because it definitely is weird and creepy, and I feel like it was useful to me. I don't really want to be in the woods. Do I have to be in the woods right now? The woods, those undulate too. That ain't right.
No, that looks more like leaves rustling.
Okay, is this like a patch of... Okay, that... I'm sure.
It's a patch of pish-posh.
I'll grant that. I still don't like the way it moves. I got a wagon. I don't like that I'm having to do this. I feel like it was useful for me, if only because it was what I thought I wanted. And yet it still didn't quite scratch the same itch. So then I realized maybe what I thought I wanted isn't quite what I wanted. Location, okay. Thanks. Dry meadow, hideout, underground entrance. Well, that's, I guess, useful to know. Brook. Sure. I don't have an objective. I do remember the people saying that again, the only complaint about the game is that it deliberately doesn't give you objectives, which means figuring out what you're supposed to do can be a bit of a hassle. But then again, I was talking about... Oh, that was probably in our Lost... I think that was in the first one where I said that I think... You can open it with a lockpick, which you probably don't have. I have a broken lock one. That's just great. I mentioned in our first failed attempt at this that I think maps have sort of ruined games by making them too easy. And I think objective markers do the same thing. And perhaps objective markers are probably the true enemy rather than the map. Because some games have maps but no objective markers, so it's like you're going to have to guess where you're supposed to go based on the description of the place.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, yeah, I know where...
In the general vicinity.
Like Morrowind, from what I gather, did that, where if you wanted to get a quest, the NPCs would literally tell you, like, landmarks. And then you would have the maps, so you would be able to see the landmarks, but you'd still have to be like, okay, he said it was, 50-odd paces down from this rock, and then you have to just sort of deduce the rest of the way. I have now lost my location. I thought I was going back towards the house, and I'm not. And because the map doesn't tell me where I am, I now don't know where I am. Well, I know I was just at the brook, so I guess I have to go back. So anyways, it was... I think it may just be have taught me that what I really am interested in... Maybe I just need to start looking into more horror books. Because I think there's something to be said for the fact that if it manages to scare you as a book, then I think that is the most visceral kind of scare. Because it's using nothing but your own mind to scare you with. And I think if you can do that, then you can do just about anything. Whereas I feel like films will always have the crutch of the visuals that they will... Even if I think it's... I mean, is it fair to say that every film, simply by having visuals, is going to be a less effective horror film? I don't think that that's fair.
No, I mean...
But I think that the crutch will always be there, which means it would have to be an exceptional... I think it always comes down to the concept for me.
As mediums adjust in artistic renderings, I feel like there's a part of it that you have to...
So I'm close to the house in this direction.
You're going to have to use really any and every tool that's available to you in order to really pull it off well.
Something ain't right round here.
Now, not to say again, it's not... In other words, I guess my sentiment is, if I see a jump scare in a game, is that guy got a sword? What? Is that even a man?
I don't know. I thought I was near my house. I don't have a weapon. I certainly don't want to not look at him. He's not moving. I don't think I have any form of weaponry. I have a torch. Could I hit him with the torch? Can I pull an Aragorn on him? I'll garrote him. I'll stick him with nails. I don't know what to do. I mean, the only thing I can think to do is I'm going to just I'll glass him, and then I'll hit him with a torch, and then I'll strangle him. I totally thought he was gone. I thought they were going to pull that. Melee weapons have a secondary attack.
That looks like a human with deer horns on.
I don't... Ah!
It is what it is.
It is. It's some kind of weird fawn. Get away from my house. I'm chasing it towards my house while I'm faster than it. He runs in a wonky way.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit Centaur in the Maze kind of a vibe.
Is this a thing I should know about? Centaur in the Maze.
Yeah, it's what is that from?
I don't know.
Shoot, it's some Greek mythology, though.
No, are you thinking of the Minotaur?
Oh, maybe a Minotaur.
Okay, because that's what I wondered, but I was like, well, that wasn't a centaur.
Yeah,
it wasn't a centaur.
No, you're right.
Okay, am I supposed to follow this thing? It doesn't seem to mean me harm. I mean it harm, though, because I don't want it around.
Well, but what if it's...
I live out here!
For you.
Well, it could probably... I mean, either it's leading me towards something I need, or it's leading me towards, like, its brood or something, and it's gonna feed me to its young. I don't like getting close to it! Okay, so the problem is, I don't think I can run while charging my attack, and the charge takes too long. He'll always run away. I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this, but certainly... Can I chase him into a bear trap? I'm getting all kinds of locations. I guess this is a great way to explore the map. I don't think I was supposed to do this, and in fact I'm almost certain I wasn't, because now I bet you I'm...
You're not
okay, I'm not as... Well, I thought that, but then last time I thought I was close to the house, I met that thing.
Go straight to the east.
And my torch is almost out. This wood, can I have this wood? This is like a clearing. Like, I could have sworn my house was in this clearing. Okay, I'm at the dry meadow. I mean, I'm getting closer. Okay, so apparently books and now games apparently can give me a better spook than films. I think that has always been true, given that games have the advantage of
you're actually interacting.
Yeah, you are the person, or at least ostensibly you are the person.
Yeah.
It says I'm home. I'm not home. There's my fence. Okay, goodness. So the map is loose when it says you're near a place. Do I need to be home? I thought I needed wood. I thought I was going into the woods to find wood, and I found something else. I don't know what I found.
Protect your wood.
This is weird, and I don't know. Okay, so this is a saw. That's why it takes fuel. So help me. Okay. It's like, so help me if there's another wood pile I could have just gotten wood from. Is this a wood pile I can get wood from? I don't know what my objective is, and I'm freaked out. So yeah, games have the advantage of you're inherently invested because you are pretending to be the person, at least. So a threat to the character is a threat to you.
Books, I would say, have the advantage in that you're using your own imagination, which is...
Because again, that wouldn't have been as scary had I not witnessed it.
Well, that's actually something I feel like that's a bit of a Lovecraftian staple, or
what?
What would you call it?
I swear, I just am confused.
Keystone of his of the writing style is that there's a degree of it playing on your own fear of just...
I mean, that's the innate nature of any book of any kind. But
I mean, my point in that is that he doesn't go out of his way to describe every little thing about, like...
Well, because many times they can't. That's the whole point.
But my point is that adds a level of mystique and kind of...
mushroom remains.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I mean, just it's not knowable, and therefore that's
very much the crux of his stuff. It's like the stuff is so wrong that it can't be undescribed because it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
I would guess that I need wood to fix the well. I don't have wood around the house. I thought I was going into the woods to get wood, but it occurs to me I don't even have an axe. It says the saw can convert logs into wood planks. I don't have logs. Wood logs in the container first, but I don't have any. Like, my wood pile is done. I was out of wood in the wood pile. This is so confusing. I feel like... I mean, there's an element of I don't know that we're able to pay as close attention as I would otherwise. So I feel like maybe I missed something that I should have picked up on. But I'm a little confused. This will probably be one that I end up finishing as well, just because it's given me enough of a intrigued to continue. Am I just going to hope to find some random wood? I guess I'm going to have to. I guess I'll go the other direction where the satyrs don't live.
What? Oh, it's just mushrooms.
I fogged myself.
So I genuinely feel like...
that's a bad... I'm poisoned by mushrooms! Why didn't it tell me that would happen?
It's just a hallucinotrope.
Well, do we know that? It says poison. It doesn't say I'm tripping out. It says I've been actually harmed.
Tripping ball.
Well, I don't have any means of curing that. So it isn't actually true poison. It's more of a... Oh, no, it did hurt me. So slightly. I guess it's a... But so it's not... I thought like am I going to stay poisoned till I'm dead or... Well, the game's effective at being spooky and weird. This is where I met the satyr! Oh... He tricked me by running away, distracted me from the thing I should have been paying attention to. I don't like the noises I'm hearing. We got a shiny stone. Okay, what I don't like is when I'm not looking, I see different things. Are you picking up on this?
Well, yeah, but I mean... Different.
Like wherever I'm looking, I see the ground and these weird circular like carvings. But where I'm not looking, like what is this? What is that? It goes away whenever I'm not looking at it, or whenever I am looking at it. And like, what is this weird crate? That's... I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
The trees kind of 3D effect actually I feel like is pretty effective for...
Yeah, that's actually a pretty clever way of doing it. Okay, so the sun is going down, so time is in effect. And I mean, am I going to have to hole up the house for the next night? I mean, that seems like the kind of thing I'm going to have to do. Can I move this in front of this hole in the wall? Why do I live in a house with a hole in the wall? That seems like problem number 1 I need to be dealing with, but I guess that'll have to do. I'm just so boned.
Guy's like, people keep breaking into my house. Well, maybe you shouldn't have it open and lure them into their deaths.
Close the door. Close the door. Can I push the chair in front of the door? It's a stool. It's not even a chair. I don't think this is going to work. I don't even know that I need to do this yet, but the game's got me paranoid. I suppose that's the thing. All right, so books. I mean, I've already got a couple other movies on the list that I wanted to get to, so I'll probably still finish those, but... Workbench. Well, here's my freaking stuff. No wood, though. Why do I... This is... Okay, so these are things I can craft. These are not things I have. Well, that... Okay, antidote for poison. Well, that would have been good to know about. Bandages, chain traps... Oh, wait. Oh, I have 2. Wait, what? What do I have 2 of? Scrap metal, maybe? I mean, I did deactivate one of them earlier, so I probably should replay. I think there was one in front of this door. That makes sense. The door that doesn't lock, I probably should be putting traps in front of. Or was it the window? It was the window. It's now dark out, and I don't like what I'm having happen. And the house is making creaking noises.
Is there any, like, recharge on the battery or, like, batteries you can get or anything like that?
I don't have any batteries.
Like, are they saying torch? I'm imagining they're meaning, like, a flashlight, right?
I have no clue. I don't even know what time period this is set to be in. I'll put a trap in front of the window. I have to use torches, like physical torches. Like, I made it out of wood and stuff. So maybe...
Yeah, but is that the error, or is that just simply because you're in a cabin in the woods?
I have no clue. Okay, so it's nighttime and I don't like this. This is weird. Because less has happened in this than happened in the movie, and I'm more scared by this. Is it just the immersion aspect of, like, this is technically me?
No, I think it's different.
There's like, I am threatened
people
because...
pay more attention on a detail level to creating unease and unrest more versus...
No, because the same things are happening. Like, okay, I'm encountering stuff that's weird. Nothing has yet attacked me. I'm hearing creepy noises that spook me. But in a movie, I feel like, again, there's a certain separation. It is intensely dark. Can I just go to bed? I don't have anything to light stuff with. I would really rather just go to bed. I don't have any tools for lighting things. I'm out of torches. I have a match. I mean, how much light would that really give me? Again, I need more wood. Apparently I wasted the first day by not getting wood. Like, I got distracted by a satyr. Okay, so the matches do not work just for general light, which, I mean, that sort of makes sense, but... Alright, so clearly it doesn't want me to sleep. What are you? Why is the oven on? The oven wasn't on earlier. Ew! What am I eating?
I can sense a strange yet familiar scent.
Right. What?
The protective substance, which gives
I
me
have
a
a chance of surviving.
Vapors rising in the huge...
I'm gassing myself in the middle of the night to stay alive? What? I don't want to do either of these choices. But notice, like, this is basically a text adventure at this point, and I'm still unnerved.
Right.
I think that's what it really comes down to. You gotta get under the skin. What? Okay. Of the protective substance after nightfall results in immediate death in 90... What? Evenly spread the gas inside the sleeping area. Okay, so I'm fumigating the house to avoid some kind of... I guess that it keeps the monsters away or something. Felt any hunger or thirst since the accident. Can't stop thinking about one thing. These mushrooms. They look so tasty. Well, I stepped in a bunch of them and they poisoned me. Cook! I'm about to eat psychedelic shrooms.
How about shrooms?
I cooked some shrooms and we now are going to trip.
Shroom bag. I got my shroom bag now.
Okay, so where's me cooked shrooms?
Cooked shrooms.
Odd cookable.
Cook it on shrooms.
Wait, did I not cook them? It was too dangerous to cook during the night. Well, why? I want to cook. I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, then you told me to cook the shrooms. What am I supposed to do? Hi. What's you? Wait, mushrooms are. I don't like that. Something made a noise. That was the chain trap I just set. So maybe is that what these are for? I fumigated the... Well, those shrooms were not there. They sort of crept into the... They're growing in the house now. So maybe is that what it's really about? Are we trying... Is it... I'm sticking with my hypothesis that the weird disease is some kind of shroom-based... Like, I have to fumigate the house so that the mushrooms don't grow and, like, turn me into a fungus or something? I know nothing about what's happening, and I don't have a torch or a light. I can't make any of these things because I don't have materials. I could make a Molotov out of a rag and a alcohol bottle. Like, let me burn something to see. I need to repair something. I can repair a door. Something hurt my door. Okay, so something... I don't like the noise. Is that the housemaid? Close the door! Close the door! Close the door! I think it's... I don't know. It's got to be something about the immersiveness of, like, yeah, what you can't see is actually going to harm you. Rather than, like, in a movie, it's like, oh, yeah, a guy's going to die because he can't see something.
Well,
like,
I think it adds to it also because you can see it before the actual quote-unquote character can.
Well, and I have agency, I think, is also part of it. Like, in a film, what's going to happen is going to... Oh, I can light the matches. They don't help me hardly at all, though. And I probably didn't want to do that. It's like, not what happens in a film is going to happen. So I can't, stop the character from dying. Whereas something's undulating outside... I know with certainty I shouldn't go out there. But is time passing right now? That's the other question I have. Is, like, am I actually supposed to just wait here until morning? Or am I supposed to do something in the night? Because it won't let me sleep. Well, this game is actually... got me enough that I feel like we haven't... I had a whole bunch... I was like, oh, I'll talk about the movies and then we'll carry on to other stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm this got me too weirded out to do anything. What does this mean? I don't know what that is down there. I'm so confused. So I can examine this. That's already stuff. I already did this. Cook, and then it tells me not to cook. So I'm being tempted to...
What version did you end up landing on? No, normal?
Yes. Because we haven't died yet, except in the beginning, which I think was scripted. Something's... Is that the dawn? I don't remember dawn being so intimidatingly blood red. Okay, so that... See, they even make me fear the sun. Something's wrong here. Wardrobe searched. I do everything I can do. So time does pass during the night. That's useful to know. Okay, so I gotta get wood today, because if I don't, I'm gonna freaking die. What? I literally bumped into him before I knew what it was. What?
Even from afar, you could smell the putrid stench of what?
What on earth? Okay. That... I don't trust him. He showed up in my house. I don't want to do anything you do. Get through to the silent floor. Things so easy for you. I prepare myself well. With what? Scribble something on my map. Okay. Unless you got bored of your lousy life. Only if you were sharing the I can trade stuff with you. Do you have any things I can... Whoa, you got all the kind of stuff. You have wood. I need wood. Weapons, parts, handguns. Oh, he's got all the stuff that I need, except the wood. Well, toolbox, I'm sure that would be useful. I don't have anything I can... Dude, this is... Well, show item. Plastic chick. Perfect for a church fair. Photo of a road. Okay, so something's...
Studied how the road
doesn't exist.
On trees without...
So I'm guessing it's some sort of fungal encroachment.
And this is the dystopian.
I'm betting that because
zero.
they're talking about like, oh, the roads have been overrun by the trees. I'm like, what if they're not trees? What if this is just some giant fungus that's consuming the earth? That sounds like a Lovecraft story. Can you get out of my house now, dude? You're lucky I didn't have my table leg. I'd have bapped you on the head. I guess he's just gonna stay in the house now.
All right,
he's my roommate now. Wolf's Camp, you come from far away.
Which one of you ticked off Treebeard?
Silent forest, underground entrance, burned house. These are all the things I ran around when I found my satyr friend. You marked something on my map, but okay, were these the things you marked? Okay. I'm so confused. We're at the hour, and I feel like I don't know anything. Like nothing makes sense. Oh, it's a glowing mushroom. Well, that's good. I'm glad I have one of those.
Let me just eat it and find out.
There's mushrooms growing inside the house. I'm betting that's apt. Okay, I apparently
it is very reminiscent, and I think I've made
bugs.
This comparison before. The whole flood thing from Halo. It's like,
well, so far they're not actually ambulatory, but I wouldn't be surprised if that comes later. So that's my guess, is that we're in some kind of apocalypse where fungus captured the earth or something. Well, it's unsettling. I don't actually feel like I want to set out from the house just yet, because I don't feel like I know anything of what I'm doing. So I suppose we'll call it. But I feel like this... I was coming in all confident of like, I've got some cool stuff to talk about, and then the game was like, I'll give you some cool things to be freaked out by.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
That was... So I mean, the reputation's well deserved, because it's certainly got me spooked and confused.
It's a little bit of like, I don't want to stop.
Well, I don't either, but I mean, I guess I don't have to. I'll play this. Or, I mean, you're saying you want to do a series of it.
Well, I mean, how long is it? That's the problem.
have no clue. That's the issue. And
like even just the small details of this effect is like, it makes you immediately feel like, oh, I'm peeking around. I'm just peeking around the corner.
So It didn't cover anything I was going to talk about. Barely even covered the film I watched. I don't know.
I thought you covered the film pretty well, but...
Well, okay. Maybe I'll trust you then. I can't trust myself anymore.
But
my mind's been... It's all those mushrooms. I don't know. Horror books. The problem is I started with Lovecraft. Can you go much higher than Lovecraft? I mean, that sounds awfully pretentious, but...
As far as film,
horror books of equal caliber, because like he's famous for a reason.
Not really.
I don't know. I'm sure if I look it up, some people might be like, well, these guys are like Lovecraft and are of equal, but I'm not sure you could surpass.
Yeah, but I have a feeling.
Then again, maybe there is.
People, especially based on the fact that most of his work was kind of short story-ish. I mean, I feel like
that's true, but well, I guess if
people are gonna, I don't know.
I don't know. See, I wanted to get to this too because this I don't know a lot of the time because I wanted to bring up here's a random thing. We'll see how familiar you are with the internet.
I don't know about that
because I saw a video that reminded me of something that was viral several years ago, which was there was apparently this manga written called the Enigma of something like Amigara Fault or some Japanese name. And it became viral because it was basically this super wacky, twisted horror comic strip where the plot of it is, and this will see if you jog your memory, because this is what sticks with most people about it, and this is what I remember about it, which is why when I came across a video describing it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember when that thing was famous, and like I heard about it. I don't even know from where. But the plot is basically there's this earthquake in Japan that reveals this like canyon fault thing. That's why it's called the Amigara Fault or whatever. Okay. And in the sides of the rocks are these holes that are like perfect human silhouettes. And so everyone's like weirded out by this. And then as people start to explore the area, they realize that like they're different sizes and they are ostensibly like made almost for specific people who live in the area, like in terms of they match their silhouette perfectly, and so naturally a bunch of people try to go in them and then end up getting trapped in them. But the thing about it that's creepy is a bunch of these people get lost because they've gone in and no one can get them out because they're shaped specifically for them. And then they discover, like, on the other side of this canyon where all these holes are these, like, bizarre carved holes in the rock that are of very strange shapes. And then as they start to explore these, they realize that they're the same. They're effectively these tunnels, and the people who've been trapped in them have been stuck and, like, effectively warped by the fact that the tunnel almost like sucks people into it, and then it changes shape, so the people who are in it end up like being horrifically mangled. It went around because there's several like panels of it that are super. It's like you actually see the people in the things, and they're horrifically.
I don't remember. I don't have any recollection.
This was very much an early kind of internet dark web sort of thing. Not dark web in the true sense, but like it was one of these early. It sort of was in the creepypasta generation of like when those kinds of weird things went around.
I got you, like salad fingers and
Yeah, it was of that era. And I just saw the video. I was like, oh, that was that thing. And now I realize that apparently the author of that is a very famous Japanese horror comic writer.
Oh.
Like all of his comics are of similar. Some even are very Lovecraftian, like cosmic horror. Where it's like there's one where there's just this giant star made of meat appears in the sky. And it devours other planets, and so eventually it reaches Earth, and everyone's like doesn't know what to do about it because nothing can stop it. And it's like that's really freaking bizarre.
I'm gonna have some dinner.
But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I was talking about the whole visual thing, and I think it's.
Are we just gonna?
Well, I don't want to leave. Since we know that time passes, I didn't want to waste the day because I do feel like I want to continue this, but I just want to bring this up because it seems fitting. But his name is Junji Ito, and apparently all of his stuff's like that, and I might have to give that a try, because that's the kind of thing where, yes, it's got the visual element, but it's clearly the concept is freaky enough on its own, where the visuals aren't what's doing the scare. It's the visuals are only enhancing what's already a pretty effectively frightening underlying narrative. So I'll have to try that. But, This was weird. This was weird and creepy, and I don't know what help. That's what I need. Oh, this would have all been useful.
I need some mushrooms. I have help.
Well, I don't know. You got an effective sign off. I'm Twitter pated.
Signing off. Signing off.
Back away from the mic slowly.
Signing off.